not through a school as much as it was a group of friends outside of school. And I had a friend's band who they lost their bassist. And so they went around asking, hey, we have an instrument, we just need somebody to play it. So, that just sounds easy, I'll do it. It turned out it wasn't too easy. So we were more like an Ozzy Osbourne cover hard rock band. At that time. Another question? Yeah.
With all that you have made as far as music, what has driven you? What has been like themes like you take from each album, each song? What has driven that? Has it just been something that's been part of your life, something that you see outside of your life? And from a cultural standpoint, in America, Japanese and American culture is so different, and yet they're so similar in certain areas. So, where would you say that you fit in, I guess, the contrast in your own society?
Okay, so it's kind of a two-part question. What are your inspirations,
exactly.
And then how does it play off culturally?
Yeah.
What similarities or differences do you notice between your music and music here? You asking any particular member or just all three of them?
All three.
So for my case, if I talk about the cultural aspect that you asked about, I was raised in Japan, I'm Japanese, I like the Japanese music a lot. At the same time, I was also raised in an environment where I was able to listen to music from all over the world. I brought up the Ozzy Osbourne cover band I was in earlier, right? So there's a clue right there. But so I feel that my experiences have accumulated over time, and I've been able to integrate both the Japanese music and any other music from any other country all together into kind of an expression of myself. So if you ask where I get my inspirations, one of the answers is my experiences.
そうですね。こうやって皆さんが日本のアニメだったりとかカルチャーとかをすごい勉強したりとかして大好きなように、私はちっちゃい頃からそのアメリカの映画だったりとか、マドンナとかプリンスとかマイケル・ジャクソンとか大好きで、そういうのばっかり聞いてるから、もうどっちかというともうアメリカ になんかこうすごい影響をすごいもらっていて、こうやって来れるのもすごく嬉しいし、で私の音楽も結構そういう 80s ポップスっていうのがすごく入っているので、なんかないものねだりだなと思って、なんか結局自分に身近にないものだからすごくこう取り入れたくなるし、で、自分のね日本にあるいいアニメとかもっともっとこうやってねみんなに愛されてるんだから、もうちょっと知った方がいいだろうなっていうのをすごく感じて、いい刺激になりました。
So for myself, a lot of my experiences, I grew up listening to Michael Jackson and a lot of the 80s bands, Madonna, and so I like that sound, and that's kind of dominated a lot of my inspiration. As it's what I grew up with, it's what I really love, and so integrating that with my music, and then together at the same time, much like you guys like anime and learn culture aspects through anime. For myself, I've learned a lot through music, and then coming here, I also see that learning more about other cultures and integrating that is an important thing. So I'm really happy to be able to come here too.
私は、曲を作る時とかもそうですし、あと、DJ をする時もそうなんですけど、例えばアメリカのかっこいい音楽と日本の電車のアナウンスとか合わせて曲を作ったりすることもあったり、結構そういう意味では日本にしかない文化とアメリカの代表的な文化をこう一緒に混ぜちゃって、そのギャップから生まれる面白さとかかっこよさをすごく追求するところがあります。
So for myself, when I'm composing or even when I'm performing live as a DJ, one of the things I've always liked to do is integrate the Western music together with sounds that you only hear in Japan, like train sounds or announcements on trains, and blend those together. And so from my personal point of view, that's kind of how I have tried to create some originality and present my music.
No, because even the sounds of the train signals and crossings is different between the two countries.
あと電車のその走る音も。
Even the sound of the train running on tracks. So she's actually quite a railroad maniac, if you were. Yes, exactly. Railroad otaku herself, right? So they tease her about that sometimes.
アニメとかをワッシュアップしていたりもするんで、Nirgilisが、その辺もかっこいい音楽、もちろんアメリカの音楽も取り入れてますし、日本の自分たちの曲も取り入れながら、ジャパニーズアニメーションっていうものをうまく取り込んで、今はすごくそういうライブパフォーマンスを中心にやってます。
So Nirgilis, we like to blend anime with our music as well, right? So we'll mash these things up, and really right now, what's really fun is going around and performing these live performances with the live anime mashups together with our music, both any kind of cool music we hear from anywhere together with our own music, and blending it all together to make a unique product.
逆にちょっとここにいる方一人ずつぐらいいるんですけど、一番何のアニメが好きなのか教えていただけると、こう次来た時にどのネタがこう、ね、受けるのがちょっと分かるので聞きたいなと。
So actually, I have a question. She has a question for everybody here, and she'd be fine even by one and having you each answer it. But if you could tell her what your favorite anime is, or one of the animes that you really like right now, because they can integrate that in their works. Not maybe this time, but maybe next time they get the chance to come and kind of make it more of a true real-time blend of the popular anime today in America.
But there are so many.
Exactly.
I like Lucky Star.
Cowboy Bebop.
Lucky Star, yes, Lucky Star.
That's one of my all-time favorites right there. I just love the fact that how it ends. It ends as a finality to the storyline versus other animes that would just continue because
Leave it open.
yeah, it's it's like sometimes you just enjoy it for there to be an ending. Like either we grow old and we die, or we die in battle.
So are samurai type genres popular?
Samurai
Yes.
shampoo.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Rurouni Kenshin.
Yes, really good.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I'm a fan of Lucky Star.
Yeah, I think it's there. Lucky Star is awesome. Lucky Star is awesome.
Yes.
I like Soul Eater.
My favorite goes to Michelle.
I like Soul Eater.
Speak up a little bit, Soul Eater.
Goes to
Soul Eater. Soul Eater had great music.
Soul Eater.
Soul Eater had very good music.
Yeah.
Gundam Seed Destiny.
Gundam Seed Destiny?
Yeah. One of my favorite theme songs came on that one. I forget what it was. I forget what it was, but I think it was Wings of Flight. I'm not quite sure. Wings of Words.
テーマ曲、それって日本のテーマ曲、日本ガンダムシ
How about some people in the back over there? You haven't heard anything from you. There you go.
There.
Okay.
昨日のオープニングの時で
Yeah, so we showed a little bit of Evangelion in a mashup last night at our opening ceremonies.
Yes.
So we have a different opening prepared for today's event.
Not the same.
Yeah, a little bit different. There's a twist.
もし分かった人はかなり大声で「あー」って言ってほしいですね
So, if you get the joke,
Yeah.
make sure you scream out so I know.
今日今の段階で上げてくれているアニメは大体入ってます
So, all the anime that you guys have just mentioned, they pretty much already have it in their works.
Yes.
Yes.
I did not see any playing
Haruhi. What about Haruhi?
楽しみで
Yeah, so please look forward to it. Another question?
First, I'd like to apologize to you and to you guys. My cell phone's on. I thought it had a vibrate.
We didn't even hear it. It was all right.
Yeah.
How long does it take from conception of an album to actual release date? How long does it take to do an album?
まちまちですけどもちろん締め切りがある時もあればもう自分たちでもうなんだろうもうレコーディング家でするみたいな形でもう大体全部作り上げちゃう時もあるし
So it kind of depends on a variety of factors, but if we have a deadline, sometimes we have deadlines, right? So we might just basically try to each record our parts, even in our own homes, and bring it together.
まあ、家で大体もうねできるようになったじゃないですか最近は。ただ楽器、ドラムだったりとかベースとかギターに関しては、ちょっとスタジオに行かなきゃいけないので、そういう場合はすごい制作時間が長くなったりとかします。
So for a lot of the electronic types of aspects, it's become easier to do that personally at home and do the recording. However, when you have to involve a real instrument, we have to go and get studio time and performers, and that takes